Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. Before we get into this Devblog, I thought I would talk about two events that are going on over this weekend. We have the Canadian Armed Forces Day, where you can get yourself a decal for Canada, basically the lesser emblem of the Canadian Army, and all you have to do is play 3 battles using British vehicles at rank 3 or higher, and you can get this really cool decal to put on your vehicles. There's also the Turkish Air Force Day, where you can get yourself a decal too, where all you have to do is play 3 battles using aircraft of any country at rank 3 or higher to receive the emblem of the Turkish Air Force Command. So make sure to check those two out this weekend. Both of them are available over the weekend, probably along with a bunch of other stuff going on too. So yeah, check them out. So after the sneak peek streams, they have shown us the good old pre-order for the AMX A-1A. This is a Brazilian AMX, very similar to the one which we see already in the Italian tech tree, but obviously with the Brazilian variant, it brings along a few additional things. First of all, it's a pre-order, second of all, it's a premium, and third of all, it gets some new funky missiles, which will be nice to see. The vehicle will be at rank 7, and if you actually want to purchase it, make sure to use the partner link, which will be in the description, and also the comments section, because you'll be able to get yourself a discount, and also support the channel, and get the decal, which is all fun. The pre-order itself comes with 20 days of premium account, 2,500 golden eagles, the Desert Wind title, and also a unique coat of arms of the 1st Squadron, 16th Aviation Group, Squadron Adelphi. If you want a cool little tidbit, there's actually a club in Hull called the New Adelphi, and that is a place I used to hang out because they used to do reggae and also have a few swingers. Let's get into the vehicle history and see what's going on with the AMX. During the late 1970s, the Italian Air Force specified a set of requirements for a new aircraft to replace the outdated G91 and F-104 in their respective roles of ground attack and also aerial reconnaissance. Aratelia and Eramachi ordered a joint venture to develop the new aircraft, with work on the project commencing in 1978. By 1980, Brazil was also looking into modernizing their strike aircraft fleet, and thus expressed interest in joining the development of the new aircraft. After agreeing on the requirements in 1981, Embraer joined the consortium, subsequently named AMX International. Focusing on designing a light and also cost-effective strike aircraft, development of the new aircraft progressed quickly. The first prototype of the aircraft flew in 1984, and following a successful test period, the AMX entered production in 1988. Due to the shared development effort, the Italian and Brazilian variants of the aircraft only differ in minor aspects. After entering service, the Italian AMX aircraft participated in operations during the Balkan Wars of the 1990s and also Libya in 2011, where the type distinguished itself in combat. The AMX is still in active service in Brazil, in the Brazilian Air Forces, and also in Italy. They were just retired in 2024. So with this vehicle coming in, it joins a long line of general vehicles of the strike aircraft jet variety, which have a premium version and a standard tech tree version. Now usually these variants have slight differences, and the AMX A-1A is no different. Even though a lot of the stuff is very similar on it, such as both of these vehicles are powered by the Rolls-Royce Spey 807 engine, they do have differences in terms of their armaments, which is pretty cool. The AMX A-1A has a pair of 30mm cannons, which will help it out quite a lot, but the major difference between these variants of each other is the Piranha missile. The Brazilian AMX gets the MAA-1 Piranha. This has an insane overload, but at least on the sneak peek stream, kinda showed that it didn't have an IRCCM, so you'll at least be be able to countermeasure it a decent amount of the time. It also has access to the BAFG 230 Lizard 2 guided bomb, and if you remember the recent BR changes and also the discussion around them, the AMX itself, of the Italian variety, was supposed to go up 2 BR brackets and ended up only going up 1 because of player feedback. But it'll probably go up again, just like this AMX will as well. These vehicles have access to thermal pods in the form of Lightning 2s and a ton of guided bombs, which from a very high altitude can just annihilate anything on the ground. They are super powerful CAS aircraft, just like a lot of the other CAS aircraft around this BR, such as the A-10, the Su-25, and also the A-6. So to see them come around shouldn't really be surprising. This gives Italy and also the Hungarian vehicles a fantastic addition to the game, and also a little bit of Brazilian representation. Brazil is one of those nations which, when it comes to military stuff, we don't really talk about too much, and even though it has a massive population and a huge player base from there for War Thunder, it's kind of nice to see them represented more. And I'm sure in the future, as we get more and more of the Brazilian vehicles, it'll be nice to see more kind of chat around their development history and also a bunch of different stuff that are coming in for them. So this might be the first step in a long line of pretty cool Brazilian vehicles, just like how in the past we've had stuff like Polish vehicles and also even the Danes getting a vehicle this update too alongside their Leopard. They're getting a CV90-35. So hopefully in the future we get more of this stuff. The AMX is also very powerful, not just in ground, but also in air, in the right circumstances. It does have very good air-to-air missiles, it can do quite a lot of damage on the ground, and it also gets access to countermeasures. But you just have to be careful of your positioning, because of the fact you're usually not as fast as a lot of vehicles that you face. This vehicle will mainly be used in ground though. In ground it will be very, very good, and it will be able to do quite a lot. One of the problems with the BR range that it is at for ground units is a lot of them are the SACLOS or optically guided missiles, and a lot of those missiles got heavily nerfed last year, basically bringing a lot of vehicles such as the Florak Panzer, the Roland, the XM975 into a very negative position. And what you can do with stuff like the AMX, because you don't have a huge heat signature, so therefore IR guided missiles can also have an issue locking onto you, you can go above the battlefield and basically sit 4 or 5 kilometers up and drop guided bombs on people, and nobody is able to even touch you or even see you based on the radar. It's crazy how effective vehicles like this can be, and they will continue to be going forward. Even with the separate BRs between ground and aviation, a vehicle like this is always going to have a good time and is always going to do well. And at the same time, you'll be able to grind out the Italian and also Hungarian tree with it. You'll be able to get a lot of the vehicles from the mid-tiers to the kind of high tiers. This vehicle being a rank 7, it'll be able to fully efficiently grind the whole tech tree at the moment, which is really cool. The other option that you have for Italy to grind out, the F104, is nowhere near as useful as this thing, and doesn't really have that whole multi-role thing going for it. So therefore, I would definitely recommend this one over it. And as I said, hopefully it means we have a new dawn of Brazilian stuff in the game, so we can see some more kind of wheeled vehicles, and maybe even some high-tier MBTs. As always, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. I'd just like to thank GMG Smiley, CD Beans, Chieftain Mike, EMN3 Galaxy, Tulio Pontecorvo, Brendan Quinn, Carrion Crow, Gus Irenicus, Pyman, Wartinder, Teddy, Daniel Stanton, Martinez, B. Young, Ozzy Panzer, Alan Hacker, Liam Shear, Opium Prime, Lafouche, Sem Aslan, Uncle Bean, and Derek R. for supporting the channel.